Well, maybe Kieran for the.
You're being recorded. This is John.
I'm being
Just introduce. So this is.
Now?
So now we're with John. John's coming into the conversation. John Wallace. John, what's your role in the organisation?
General go-getter skiv.
That sounds fantastic. Brilliant.
He's our consultant.
Consultant. Oh, very, very fancy. So yes, we were picking up about the visitor experience. It's open from a Thursday evening. Is that right? Friday evening, Saturday evening, Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. Yes,
Got you.
that's correct.
Okay.
So I suppose probably the easiest thing to do is to look at what the goal is and then work our way back.
Yeah.
So this heritage project started off with it being purely really centred around a lifeboat that had served in this community back in the 1950s.
Okay.
That lifeboat subsequently moved and ended up being part of the 1979 Fastnet disaster, and has a whole story around sort of a twinning with Cork Machery down in the Republic.
Oh, okay.
The boat was then pulled out of service and into the hands of the National Museums here in Northern Ireland. Subsequently, there was a push made to bring the boat back to Donaghadee, which eventually happened, and the boat lay in Donaghadee for a number of years in a fairly sorry state. And then the Donaghadee Heritage Preservation Company was formed in order to bring
roughly
back.
when was that?
About 2016.
Okay.
Right, so that then started the whole regeneration of the boat.
Yeah.
Which you'll go out and see in a moment. From that, we started to realise that there was more than just the maritime history of the lifeboat. There was the harbour, there was the motte, there's the lighthouse, there's New Island lighthouses and the islands and the communities that were based out there. There's the railway that used to run right past this building,
I love it.
with both tourism and also commercialism. It ran right down onto the harbour where the Kelly's coal boats used to come in and offload the coal back in the 50s and the 60s. So there's a great, and hence the name.
A lot of industrial heritage there as well.
Hence the name the Kelly, because it was named after Sir Samuel Kelly, who ran the Kelly's coal boats.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So we started to recognise that there's a whole host of other really good stories to tell based on the back of, I guess, the centrepiece, which is the lifeboat. Yeah. So as you can see here, we've got more information on Coast Guards and the role that they played in not just Donaghadee, but right round the coast to Ballywalder and Malile and further on down. A little bit more about the harbour, and these exhibitions will rotate, and Dawn and our archivist Shirley, they're really instrumental in pulling all of that information together and then presenting.
And so I'm going to ask quite direct questions here. The Coast Guard, what role has the Coast Guard got to do in this now?
So we actually have we had a Coast Guard station in Donaghadee. Yeah. And if you drive out the Warren Road, right towards the Warren Road, is on the left hand side, just opposite Shore Street Presbyterian Church, which subsequently as well was also the rope works back in the day. So it was very much a seagoing maritime community. Take that into account. So therefore, the head of the Coast Guard, as in the Coast Guard station and its personnel, were based in Donaghadee, and they had a part to play in the Sir Samuel Kelly and the Princess Victoria disaster, along with many other wrecks that happen around our coast. So as an example, we've got the Catherine Rennie. She went down in Coal Pit Bay, which is like
Remind me the Princess Victoria disaster.
Princess Victoria was 1953.
31st of January 1953.
53. Okay.
Yes. Okay. It was a ferry that left Stranraer in hurricane force winds, mainly because the post had to get through, and she had 133 souls on her. More.
I think it's 104. It's still to this day.
Still not
actually unknown. The exact number that were on board.
Okay. So she left Stranraer, she plotted her positions and broadcasted her positions. The problem was she was one of the first roll-on, roll-off ferries. The back doors got burst open and she filled with water. She took a list and then she went over. And she eventually sank about 5 miles east of the lighthouse, New Island. So Every year we still go out and we remember her, and the lifeboat guys take out a wreath and we put it out, and there's plaques on the harbour wall.
Nobody survived that then.
Well, no, there was
44 survivors.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And we have all the names.
Sir Samuel Kelly brought 33 of those 44 survivors.
It's a really good positive story there. Yeah.
So the lady who's our archivist, Shirley Cochrane, who used to be Shirley Nelson, and her maiden name was Shirley Nelson, her father and her grandfather were both coxswains on that lifeboat that you'll see out there.
Wow.
So there's a big family history.
Yep.
The guy who owns the boatyard at the marina, Quentin Nelson, he is a lifeboat expert.
Right.
He's actually renovating lifeboats.
He also served
He
with
also
Mr. Samuel
served
Kelly.
on her.
Wow.
And it's Shirley's cousin.
And it's her cousin. So there's a whole
Gosh, there's a
mishmash.
lot there. Yeah.
Then, if you take into account what we would classify as the three wise men of the town, the historians, so it's Dr. Robert Neal, Tom Neal, and Jimmy Lister. They have a load of history around the architectural history and other maritime stories of Donaghadee. And what we're trying to do, Kieran, is bring that all together.
Okay.
And the idea and the goal, and part of what I was sort of thinking a little bit
Under
Donaghadee
this
Heritage Preservation.
Okay. De-heritage.
Yeah. So that's why you're starting to see on the website there's more stuff starting to appear, because what we're doing is we're starting to build out little snippets of information to whet the appetite to get people to come and talk to us, right down to ancestry stuff. You know, we're starting to get people coming here from all over the world.
So you have an archivist. You have an archivist. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
What we're looking to do eventually is we want to expand upon this. So part of the ambition of what we're trying to achieve is to put another one of these polytunnels up initially, which means that we can put more maritime memorabilia. We have a open space internally, like a covered space, where we can involve more of the community in what we are trying to do, which is bringing young people into understanding the heritage of the town and further afield, creating ambassadors for the local area.
Great.
And creating a model which we can showcase to other towns and villages around the coast to say, hey, we've done it. Come and we'll show you how, and we'll help you to get that. So a couple of the things that we want to do, we want to look at how do we utilize technology, which you and I've talked about, in order to bring the old and the new together. How do we showcase what we're doing in a way a bit like a GoFundMe? How do we create that type of video in the right way to put it out there to the world for potential donors and sponsorship? And then the other part of it is, how do we actually start to drive the archiving of what's in the three wise men's head, and how do we regurgitate that in a way that allows them to maintain some form of control of it, but allows the younger generation to actually liaise with it in a way that they understand. So again, we're trying to start to get our hands onto
the tour guides, the three wise men you're referring to.
Yes.
How are they about that? How do they feel about that?
We've spoken to them directly. Dawn and I are kind of involved in that.
So one of them unfortunately had a severe illness earlier on this year and had to have a leg amputated.
Okay.
His brother Tom is looking to retire this year, and Jimmy, I heard the other day, is losing his sight. So again, after this year, they aren't going to be capable of doing the physical tours.
Yes.
Although they would be quite willing to do talks. Come and talk to us. So it's that knowledge. It's just harnessing what they've got. We've spoken to Tom, and he's more than happy. He wants to be in a position where he leaves it with his legacy passing on to the next generation.
Okay.
So the idea, we'll use brass plaques or stainless steel plaques around the town, which are QR driven on a dashboard. Okay. With their help, we can start.
Do you need permission to put these plaques up anywhere?
Mainly only from the property owners.
Okay.
Which
don't need any
planning or anything like that. I don't think so, because we're not changing anything. We're just saying
it's a sticker on your window.
It's a sticker on your window.
Effectively.
Or a sticker on the door.
But it's permanent.
It's no, because it can be taken off.
Okay. No,
no, it's okay.
It's okay. Keep you thinking. Just keep you thinking
yes,
when you put a plaque up. You know.
Yes.
Okay. Obvious is the blue bat.
The blue circles.
It's not like that. It's going to be the reason that we're talking stainless steel or brass is because it can show if there's any tampering done to it, people can see.
Yeah.
So, and it's also going to be potentially labelled as a Donaghadee heritage.
Yeah. And vandal proof is stuff.
Proof,
You gotta obviously
that's
be
it.
So,
but there's lots of examples
Yeah.
around the world where this has happened. So I'm with you on the idea behind that.
And then what we'll do is we'll the whole point behind it is to be able to track it and heat map it, so we can see what's working and what's not working, and then we start
Track it from the interaction of visitors from their phone.
Yes. So I have a dashboard built.
For that.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
So I can see how many times it's interrogated, when it's interrogated.
So is this going to become a trail, or is it an existing trail?
There's a trail there,
Right.
but it's guided by the three wise men.
Okay.
And what we're saying is we're happy to do a self-guided tour,
Okay.
right? Which then we can start to incorporate the commercial aspect of it, of the town. So a lot of the businesses in the town are in the properties and the architecture that we're talking about. So they start to become involved because people are coming to their premises. So our point is we're going to help drive economy because we're pushing people around the town. We'll be able to see what's working and what's not working. We'll be able to adjust the content.
So I like that. So I was sharing with Dawn there. I was here yesterday with 8 other cyclists.
Yes.
You know, and then the coffee shop at the front with all the memorabilia.
Oh,
Stormy Cup, which we've been to a number of times, and it's not the only one we go to, but I mean it's bang on location.
Yeah.
And then the gentleman who runs that, a very interesting background. I think I've told you before about him. So he's very engaging and interested in. I mean, I saw the Alexander poster and I thought, my goodness, I lived in Mourne for 8 years. So quick, I had a conversation with somebody else from County Down, but that was just in that.
Yeah.
Because there's tourist memorabilia and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, that alone is an obvious touch point.
Yes.
So you're saying, actually, so there's outside that there's something, but go to number 6.
Yes.
Up at the end.
Yes.
And then there's another coffee shop or
We have
whatever.
a challenge there.
Yes.
And we have a challenge with various peoples in the town.
Okay.
Yes.
And that is due, and this stays within his 4 rules, to archivist.
Okay. All right.
She is very forthright.
Yep.
Very, if you don't do it my way, we don't do it at all.
And, and very territorial of the
Very
the information.
territorial. And there's definitely
And would
personality
she
clashes.
embrace
She'll
technology?
embrace this. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Well,
embraces technology,
embracing this.
but if we're talking about engagement with certain people in the town,
Yeah.
they may not be willing
Okay.
because of their past experiences with her.
Yeah.
So here's a conversation I had with you when you sent me the deck and go, whoa. Do what you can do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And be the leader out there and others will follow
Yeah.
in due course.
Yes.
And
I
that's-
love the idea of the ambassadors.
And that's what we're trying to lead with. Whenever we take you outside to see the vessel, what it was and what it is now are two. I think we've come a long way in the last few months.
We've come a long way in the last 2 days, John.
Right, okay. So, you know, we're
But yes.
really pushing to make an effort to, I suppose, highlight, drive interest into the younger generation, and keep the heritage alive. Because if any one of those 3 men, or even any of the other ones that we have who are communicating with us, was to drop dead tomorrow, one of them dropped dead today.
The 3 wise men.
You know, we've lost that forever.
Yeah.
And that's
So that's a priority.
Yeah.
Gathering that
because they're all
oral
older.
heritage.
We're the youngest.
Yeah, gathering that oral heritage with their permission, obviously.
Yes.
And a bit of a structure around that. Isn't it? Is me just meeting you today is more of an immediate
Yes.
output that you can have with their permission.
Yes.
Even if it's gathering it
Yeah.
through audio to begin with.
Yes.
At least you have that.
Yes.
And then you can start to think about an ambassador program.
Yep.
Which is probably what I would be stating the obvious that you're really thinking about.
Yeah.
And whatever that forms under, whatever agencies or communities that you engage with, there are funding opportunities out there to go for that.
Yeah.
You know, cross community type funding is very apt now, and mental well-being and health and education. All of what I'm seeing so far in the history that I've heard from both of you so far is I'm going, whoa, wow, there's so much.
There's so much. There's men's sheds are popping up.
Yeah.
What I would really love to do is to start and encourage lost and dying trades. Come in and do woodworking. Come in and do rope making. Show people how it's done.
Yeah.
We've got a big piece of equipment out there that was built in the 40s.
Yeah.
And a lot of that trade's gone. How do we keep it alive? We're about to start producing a traditionally made bow fender for this boat because it's gone.
Wow.
Right, but it's made of rope, and there's meters of the stuff out there in order to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of document a little bit of that to show what we can do as normal people in today's society with a little bit of foresight and a little bit of interest can achieve. And then that also brings it back to the men's sheds, and it brings it back to the drop-in centre, and it brings it back to the youth clubs, and it brings it back to the schools. This is to become a hub. We're talking about, and I know I'm going way ahead here, Kieran, but it's probably good for you to understand where the head's at.
Yeah.
On Saturday we put in a brand new sound system out there in order to be able to do tours, because in a windy, dirty, wet evening you can't hear because it's a big open space. So we put in it's more than a PA system, it's a mixing desk.
Okay.
We can have what they would classify as the Kelly sessions. That's something we want to introduce. So young musicians come down to the Kelly, plug in and play.
Yeah, okay.
Coffee on a Thursday night for dog walkers or hot chocolate. There's hundreds of people walking down past the commons here. Walking their dogs at night. Come in and have a natter and a hot chocolate. We'll have it lit nicely. We'll have some music playing, whatever.
Yeah, lovely.
And it's to try and create a community hub of education.
Okay, there's a lot there, John.
There is a huge amount. Well, in my head.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pause this because this is good. This is more for my benefit. I'll use the summarizer to do that. So there's a lot there. I guess what I probably.
We haven't even gone offshore yet.
No, I know that, and that's